And really, that decision has nothing to do with what happened later on. Nothing. Clinton Jaws here. Gabby Petito. Remember her? Everybody's talking about it, right? And Brian Laundrie? Gabby goes missing in the summertime. They go camping together. Brian comes home without her. They ask him, "Where's Gabby?" And he's like, "I don't know." So that's why it's become one of the biggest cases in history. Because it's weird. Plus, she's cute. That's another reason. And when you see her picture, you can't help but be angry. I wasn't going to do a thing on this, but everybody else is doing a thing. I got a different angle, what I'm about to do, but... And you probably don't like hearing that she's cute. That's why there's attention on this. And it's juicy. The guy comes back from camping and just doesn't even talk to police. Just says, "I don't know where she is." Plus, Dog the Bounty Hunter, he's in on this now too. So, this is my personal opinion, YouTube, okay? This is my opinion. He dead. If I had to bet the house on it, which I don't have to, but okay, yes, he could be alive, but he's probably dead. This is why I'm doing the video. This is what bugs me about it. I feel bad for the police. I feel bad for the police because everywhere you turn, every channel, even cops are talking about it. They're blaming the police. The police should have arrested. And people are even saying the police should have arrested her. I don't know. I didn't see the body cam. I'm going to watch the body cam. I'm going to give my personal opinion. I'm going to tell you if the police actually did make a mistake. I'm leaning towards that they did because that's what I'm being told. But let's watch the body cam. Police have to arrest when it comes to two people fighting who are in a relationship. They get a call. They get a 911 call. Okay? I want you to listen to this 911 call, then we're going to watch the body cam.
They just drove off. They're going down Main Street. They made a right onto Main Street from Moonflower.
Or what were they doing?
Cooperative, but what do you say?
What were they doing?
We drove by and the gentleman was slapping the girl.
He was slapping her?
Yes, and then we stopped. They ran up and down the sidewalk. He proceeded to hit her, hopped in the car, and they drove off.
Okay, you said it's a white van?
Okay, right off the bat, you have evidence of an assault. He's seen the male slap the girl. If I'm en route to that call, why am I talking like that? If I'm en route to that call, hopefully I have backup. But if I pull over the vehicle and I go up to the vehicle without if I pull over the vehicle, the first thing I'm doing is I'm arresting him. Just because I put him under arrest doesn't mean I'm going to charge him. But he's under investigation for assault. I'm going to separate the two. My partner's going to have a conversation with the girl. I'm going to have a conversation with him, vice versa, doesn't matter. And we're going to determine what happened. We're going to determine who the primary aggressor is. It might end up that we release him and arrest her. But so far, I have the evidence. The witness has seen a slap. I have reasonable and probable grounds to arrest him. The police locate the van that they're in, and this is the police officer coming up to the vehicle.
You want to place your vehicle into park and go ahead and turn it off for me? No, park?
Oh, it isn't park yet.
Okay, turn off your engine. Go ahead and set your keys on the dash for me.
By the way, this is an hour 17. That's how long it is, and I'm going to watch the whole thing.
Why don't you come over here? SO229, I have the female.
By the way, I don't mind him doing that, talking to the girl first, getting the story. Hey, did he slap you? Yeah, okay, I'm going to go arrest him then. But I'm told she's the primary aggressor from a lot of channels, a lot of news outlets, and that she should have been arrested. I just want to know if that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just some days I have really bad OCD.
By the way, also, when it comes to witnesses, this happens so many times in my career when you actually talk to the witness and you say, did you actually see the guy slap the girl? A lot of times they'll come out and they'll go, well, you know what? I didn't actually see it. And you end up with nothing.
Okay. I was just cleaning and straightening up back of the van before, and I was apologizing to him and saying, I'm sorry that I'm so mean, because sometimes I have OCD and sometimes I just get really frustrated. Not like mean towards him, I guess my vibe is like I hear him be like in a bad mood. And I was just saying, I'm sorry if I'm in a bad mood. I've just been really stressed. I had so much work I was doing on my computer.
A lot of women that are battered, a lot of girls that are battered, they're sorry a lot. And I'm not saying that that's in this case. I just wanted to she just seems sorry a lot. She's saying that I'm a mean person. I'm being mean to him. I don't like it.
Building my website, so I've just been really stressed, and he doesn't really believe that I could do any of it. So that's kind of been like I don't know. He's like down there. I don't know. We've just been fighting all morning, and he wouldn't let me in the car before. And then
Why wouldn't he let you in the car? Because of your OCD?
He told me I needed to calm down. Yeah. But I'm perfectly calm. I'm calm all the time, and he really stresses me out, and this is a rough morning.
I would have asked the questions right away. That's just me. I'm not criticizing the police officer. I would have said, I'm assuming that the cop heard the witness statement already, that there was a slap. And I'd be asking her, anything physical today? Did he hurt you in any way? Did he slap you? Anything. But he chose not to, and that's fine.
What's that?
You talked to Gabby already?
Yeah, I just spoke to her.
Yeah.
So, you want to do me a favor? Let's go ahead and get you to step out of the vehicle. You're not in any trouble right now.
I'm just going to say, did you just talk to Gabby? He knows. He has mirrors. He knows that he just talked to Gabby. I don't know. The comment just strikes me odd. Are you worried about something? That's what I'm thinking as a police officer.
So, tell me what's going on.
She just gets worked up sometimes, and I try and really distance myself from her. So, I locked the car and I walked away from her. What happened this morning is that she's trying to start up her own little website blog and everything. So I give her time, and we really had a nice morning, if anything. But she just got worked up because we were trying to get going and get our day going because we want to go like arches before this stuff every time.
Okay. You want to tell me about those scratches on your face?
She had a cell phone in her hand. That's why I was pushing her away, is because she wanted. I locked the keys so I could walk away. I said, let's just take a breather and let's not, go anywhere. Let's just calm down for a minute because she's getting really worked up. And then she had her phone and was trying to get the keys from me, so I got in the way. I was just trying to. I know I shouldn't push, but I was just trying to push her away to go. Let's just take a minute, step back, and breathe. And she got me with her phone.
Right now, I'm confused, okay? How'd you get the scratches? She had her cell phone in her hand. She got me with her phone. She was trying to get the keys. I'm confused as a cop so far. I still don't know how he got his scratches.
Oh, you got a mark right here.
She got him with her phone. I don't get it.
So if I sped up, I'm sorry about that. Or if I was speeding beforehand, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it took quite a bit to catch up to you. So,
yeah. I'm sorry about that. We're just going into the park again to get water because we have.
Just gonna say it. Some of the meanest people are the nicest people in the world, okay? This guy seems a little too slick. That's what I'm thinking as a police officer. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Maybe he's a great guy.
6-gallon water container to fill up, so we're just grabbing water for the hike. Okay. And I was trying to keep everything calm and quiet because there's plans still to go for a hike, but it's good. Yeah,
Okay, he's painting himself to be a saint. I'm trying to keep things calm and quiet. I'm doing all this. I don't know. Is he a saint?
I'm sorry about that.
Of course. Do me a favor. You want to go ahead and just take a seat right over here on the curb for me?
And if I was speeding, I'm sorry. I want to apologize.
You don't have anything in that pocket?
Yeah, we know you're sorry.
He just grabbed you? Did he hit you though? I mean, it's okay if you're saying you hit him, but then I understand if he hit you, but we want to know the truth if he actually hit you. Because, where did he hit you? No, don't worry.
Did he hit you, though? She seems reluctant in answering that question.
He just grabbed you? Did he hit you though? I mean,
He just grabbed me.
it's okay if you're saying you hit him, but then I understand if he hit you, but we want to know the truth if he actually hit you. Because, where did he hit you? No, don't worry. Be honest.
He grabbed her face. You're not allowed to grab somebody's face. And I'm sorry, she's really reluctant in even answering that question. I hit him first, she says. That's what I thought I heard. Meaning, yeah, he did, but, well, he grabbed my face. She doesn't want him to get in trouble. I think she said he didn't really hit me or anything, like he didn't punch me.
Slap your face or what?
Go ahead.
Okay. So has he been drinking?
You know what? Sometimes these things can be really difficult to decide, to make the decision on who you arrest. What do we have so far? She got me with her phone. He has injuries. He grabbed her face. And it sounds to me that he wouldn't let her in the vehicle. Who's the primary aggressor? I don't know yet. I need more information. Right now, we have a physical altercation. And 9 times out of 10, somebody has to go to jail for it if they're in a relationship.
What was up with his driving? This officer said he hit a curb. While you're driving? While he was driving, you were hitting him?
While he was driving, you were hitting him. And now, while he was driving, you were hitting him, and all of a sudden, the video camera, the audio on their badge cam is muted. I don't know why.
Did you already tell him all this?
I didn't get that far into it.
I don't know what this means. I didn't hear it.
She was hyperventilating
She's
a little
saying
bit.
that they don't drink, but at the point when you lit them up.
You don't drink or anything.
She started hitting him.
I was yelling at him, and then when you turned your lights on, I kind of punched his arm like there's no
She's saying why he hit the curb. You said it was Gabby?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I remember that name was Gabby.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. I was just like, you're such an idiot hitting him. Hit him in the shoulder. Like, it makes a difference. I don't care what anybody says. If you're in a relationship and somebody's just knocking at your shoulder, it's not assault. Okay? It's not. But there's not enough questions. Maybe they ask it later. But if he's just like, you're an idiot. If she's just like, you're an idiot for getting pulled over, hitting him in the shoulder, it's nothing. But she's describing it like I was hitting him.
Quick question. You said you were hitting him in the arm. Did you grab the steering wheel?
No, I didn't.
You did not touch it?
Okay, she admitted to hitting it in the arm. I don't give a rat's ass. As a cop, I don't care. I know the policy, but I could easily articulate that is not assault. It's just not. I know everybody out there is going, yeah, it is. Really? Tapping somebody on the shoulder because look at her. Because that's all she's doing. She's tapping them. Have you not ever tapped somebody who's your spouse? Well, I haven't. But God, she has. Like, you dummy. You idiot. It's not assault.
But only for like a second, because I just saw the lights come on, and it was more just like, you're an idiot. Like,
see? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
you know.
But did you grab the steering wheel and like
No.
swerve or anything like that?
No. I didn't touch the steering wheel at all.
I swear to God, if the media is saying that the police should have arrested her, even other cops are saying it over what I just heard, if there's nothing else comes to light, it's ridiculous. And yeah, I don't care what anybody says. She's a sweetheart. Okay, maybe she has some problems. But if I'm a cop like that cop and the other cop, you want things to go well for her. You're on her side, believe me. And that's being a human being. In a small way, you could almost articulate something like, okay, when it comes to domestic violence, there's a thing called cycle of violence. I won't get into that. But to figure out who the primary aggressor is, you go by size sometimes. Who's bigger? He's bigger. He grabbed onto her face. Okay? Then you dig into the history. Sometimes, there was a lot of times where the guy would call the police on the girl, we would attend, and we would confirm that, yeah, an assault did occur. She did assault him. But after talking to the female, even though the guy called, we would determine that she's been beaten for the past year by this guy. And then we turn around and arrest the primary aggressor, which is the guy. That happened a lot. You know, you hear guys go, oh, I call the police and you don't take her away. No, a lot of times the guys would call the police so they'd have a me day. They would think in their head, hey, I'm going to have a free night. They're going to take her away lock her up for the night. I got the night off. I know, sounds stupid. I had a guy say that to me once. I could use the break, he said. I said, we're going to bring her to jail. You know that, right? I can use the break. Out of all the domestics that I have attended, which is thousands upon thousands upon thousands, I've never went to one where, okay, well, I have. I just can't remember. Where the girl was the true accused.
You told your story. This officer is probably going to be the one handling the whole case. You want to listen to what he has to say, and then you tell him what happened. So if you don't mind,
Start at the beginning for me. Over.
Start at the beginning. Well, I don't want to go too far back, but we've been in BLM land for the past week or so, traveling around, and the flies here are pretty intense. So the flies have definitely been getting to her, and then my feet are dirty and everything. So I think that our little squabble started because we were hanging out at the coffee shop, and when we got back to the van, there was some dirt.
Whenever you ask somebody to tell you the story, they like to be really descriptive at the beginning, like to be really descriptive at the end, and then they just blow by. I don't know if he's going to do this, but usually they just, and then we got into a fight. Well, you didn't tell me anything. I need details. They like to miss the details.
Stuff the van, and I moved our food around. It was a little disorganized, so it was just more of a disagreement, and I just wanted to.
What was the disagreement about?
It was. I wouldn't even call it disagreement. It was just that I'm
not even a
dirty,
disagreement
and I
now.
Being dirty, like I got dirty feet, I got sand on my flip flops and stuff like that. It was that we were at the coffee shop for so long because we were there from 9 to 3. So I guess there's a few little things, little relationships. I don't know if you're in a relationship, but I'm sure you know.
I've been married for over 5 years now. So.
There's a lot of little things. But she's. I'm not upset with her. But she got a little worked up, and she had her phone in her hand and her keys and everything. And she wanted, not her keys, her rings. She had her rings, her phone. And I was holding on to the keys because I didn't want to go anywhere. And my big fear is.
She wants to get back in the van. He's not letting her get back in the van. She has a right to get back in the van. I'm sorry. So she's trying to get the keys. So they're wrestling over the keys.
I don't have my phone. I don't have a phone. So she goes off without me with a car. I'm on my own. So I was saying, let's just.
Okay, did that comment make any sense to you whatsoever? Let's rewind that. I don't have a phone. What's your point?
Worked up, and she had her phone in her hand and her keys and everything. And she wanted, not her keys, her rings. She had her rings, her phone. And I was holding on to the keys because I didn't want to go anywhere. And
I'm holding on to the keys. I didn't want to go anywhere.
Big fear is, I don't have my phone. I don't have a phone. So she.
Okay, I get it. He didn't want her to go anywhere because he doesn't have a phone. He didn't want to be stranded. Well, then get back into the van. You know what I mean?
She goes off without me with a car. I'm on my own. So I was saying, let's just go for a walk, and she was trying to get the keys for me. So I was just going, just wait, back up, and that's when she hit me, and I didn't give. I don't.
Okay, he says she was hitting. It's so. I'm confused. I'm not satisfied as a cop, and she was hitting me. Well, how? Closed fists, knuckles, slap, what? Smacking your arm? What is it? I could understand them getting into a wrestling match over keys and he gets scratched. What do you call that?
I didn't get overtly physical. I was just trying to keep her away and not get hit. And then I got really loud, and that's probably.
You know exactly what happened. They got in a tussle on the side of the road. Witness drives by and sees some of it. It's exactly what happened. They're fighting over the keys. He ends up getting scratched during it because he won't give her the keys. Did she mean to scratch him? Because that means something too. No, he accidentally got scratched. That means something if that's the case.
Everyone's attention where I was going, back up, get away, just give me a.
Okay, so you said you pushed her to create some distance, obviously, right? What happened after that? What got the scratches on your eye?
The phone.
The phone. So you pushed her and she hit you?
How'd you get the scratches? The phone. Have you ever seen a phone scratch? Maybe there's something attached to the phone. And the keys. He says the phone and the keys. But the keys were in your pocket.
Really loud, and that's probably everyone's attention where I was going, back up, get away, just give me a.
Okay, so you said you pushed her to create some distance, obviously, right? What happened after that? What got the scratches on your eye?
The phone.
The phone. So you pushed her and she hit you?
She was. It wasn't like a push and she jumped on me. She was already, I don't want to, she was already swinging and I was pushing. Yeah. A lot of angles, a lot of nails, a lot of rings.
Yeah, you got 3 scratches in your neck. You got 1 on your left side of your nose.
This is so stupid, guys. This is so minor and so dumb. And have I even been talking in this thing? This is barely anything. That's the truth.
Is there tender or anything like
No.
that?
Okay. I'm fine, and I love Gabby. I hope she doesn't have too many complaints about me. I'm just,
Yeah. I hope she doesn't have too many complaints about me. No. I shouldn't say it. I'm not saying this is the case, but a lot of times a guy wants to paint a bad picture of his girlfriend because he knows that she's going to say a lot of bad things about him to the police. So you protect yourself, right? She did this. She did all this. Then you go to the other side and they're like, yeah, he did a bunch of bad things, but I'm not telling you. It's possible he's thinking, this laundry dude is thinking, holy cow, I better throw some things out there to protect myself because of what I had done earlier. I don't know. I'm just grabbing at it.
no, I feel bad I had to get so public. I was just trying to be loud to get some distance. Try to make her calm down and be like,
He's just trying to create distance, guys.
look, everyone's watching. And like, stop this.
Just hang tight for me.
Okay, what do we have? We have a tussle over some keys. She has long nails. They get in the way. You look at it the other way. Let's look at it the other way. You got an assault, right? That's assault. She assaulted him by scratching him. How do we know? We got evidence of injury. Let's take some pictures of that. That's the evidence. But was it an assault? Was she trying to assault him? Or was she trying to get the keys from him? You could easily arrest her right now. Under the RCMP policy, easily, hands down, you can arrest her.
I got on the phone with one of those 2 witnesses, and I reported it. You want me to tell you what he said? Yeah, real quick.
Okay, that cop says something about I think he said the witness who reported it. You want me to tell you? I talked to the person who reported it. Do you want me to tell you what he said?
He said that he never saw the male strike the female. He saw the male trying to lock her out of the vehicle.
So they talked to the witness. He never actually saw the slap. He never saw him hit her.
The male trying to lock her out of the vehicle. She even told us that he was
The male tried to lock her out of the vehicle.
trying to lock her out, told her to go take a walk, so that she was trying to get in. She eventually couldn't get in and actually clawed her way in through the driver's door. That's what he said. It's also what the witness is saying. The witness says, I never saw him hit her. I saw him shove her, but I couldn't tell if it was an aggression against her or a defense against.
So they did see a shove. And a shove it's an assault. But you can articulate it that he was trying to keep her away. Just like you can articulate. I wasn't trying to scratch him. I was just trying to get the keys that he wouldn't give me because I want him back in the van. And it sounds like he was already in the van and he wouldn't let her inside the van. I don't know.
Defense against her, as far as her, being the aggressor. So at this point, unless the guy's screaming that he needs to go to jail and did something to this girl, it sounds to me like she is the primary aggressor.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with her being the primary aggressor is in incidents of domestic assault, be it a male or be it a female, we shall arrest. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean they have to go to jail. We can do it.
You arrest if there's a primary aggressor, if you can determine that there is an assault. If there is an assault, you arrest the primary aggressor. And I'm not convinced. From what I see, I'm not convinced that she assaulted him. And I know everybody's probably going to think I'm nuts and crazy right now. I need him to say, she took her nails and went like that on my face. Okay? Did that to get the keys away. But I'm not hearing that. I'm not satisfied. Did she mean to scratch him while she's trying to get the keys? Because if she didn't mean to scratch him, then there's no assault. That's my opinion. It just makes That makes a difference to me. Yes, if she punched him in the face and broke his nose, okay, that's different, obviously. Okay? She meant to, you can't say, I didn't mean to punch him in the face. But you can articulate as a police officer. They got into a altercation over keys. She wanted the keys. And accidentally got scratched while she was trying to get the keys away from him. I don't know. So weak. So weak. I know at the cops, this is a tough one. It's not easy. Sometimes you make it a lot tougher than it needs to be. But this is a tricky one.
So did he tell you why? He said that she grabbed the wheel and turned it real hard. She said that she was hitting him in the arm. So
Sounds legit. I mean, I'm sure if I'm driving and my arm's on the wheel and I'm getting hit in the arm, I'm probably pulling out the wheel.
yeah.
And I'm sure it was a little of both. I'm usually the truth.
You know what? Okay. He doesn't want to pull over. She's hitting him in the arm to make sure he pulls over. I don't know. Why not? Is that assault?
So, fortunately for her, we cannot treat, just because he's bigger and stronger, and even if he's not willing to press charges, we can't treat this differently than if it was a male on female violence. And we're going to have to charge her. And
Let's say he did the same thing to her. She takes the keys. He tries to get them from her and accidentally scratches her. Is he going to go to jail for that? I don't think so. You're going to have a hard time articulating that he assaulted her when she accidentally got her hand scratched while he was trying to get the keys from her.
we can do a citation if there's some arrangement that can be made to separate them, and then we have to let them know that there's no contact order in effect. And then we have to let him know the only way to drop it is to go into the police department during business.
And that's what you want as a police officer. You want to cover your ass. You want to protect your ass. You want to cover your ass. You want a protection order, and you want no contact conditions in there. So as a cop, you can sleep better at night. There is a small altercation. We've arrested somebody. We put no contact conditions in effect. My job is done. It's up to the courts to decide, even though the courts aren't going to do anything. I know what the cops are thinking. They don't want to take her away. They don't want her to spend the night in jail. Okay, so they made the decision. I get it. I understand. They are going to arrest her for assault. I get it, okay? I don't know. They just seem to be glossing over while I was trying to get the keys. And as a viewer, I'm not satisfied. How the scratches came to, how he was scratched. He said, well, she's by her phone. Well, she's trying to get the keys from him that he was keeping from her.
It's up to you. Can I go to jail? You can't, because we'll have to charge you. Now tomorrow, if you wanted to get with her again tomorrow,
I'm gonna take your radio.
if you want to be with her again tomorrow.
See, I don't see why he's so happy about this. Almost relieved. Can I go to jail? Really? Why? Why would you say that? Do you think you should? You know, I'm going to tell you the truth. I honestly thought I would come down here, and I thought the police made a mistake by not arresting him because of what the witness said and what I heard on the news. You don't hear on the news that what the witness said isn't what the witness seen. You don't hear that on the news. So I get now why they didn't arrest him. Okay, so what they decided, they're going to arrest her. They're not going to throw her in jail. They're just going to release her on paperwork. He's going to stay in a hotel room, and she's going to stay in the van. That's what they decided.
Right.
Okay, this part's interesting. It seems like the lead investigator is talking to his supervisor. That's what it seems like to me, but you can barely make out what they're talking. But this is where they're talking about changing the plans. The supervisor just said whatever she answers to the question is going to define her fate. Something like that. So they're going to go back to her and ask her a question. They're talking more about the assault. They want to know if she intended to assault him. This is where you're too invested in her, okay? She has won them over. They probably got daughters like her. They don't want to see her get charged. It might ruin part of her life. They're on her side. They want to cut her a break. And I kind of I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. They've just been there for too long, but I know exactly how they feel. I know exactly how they feel. And the truth is, I don't think anybody has asked, did you mean to scratch him? Like, why are there scratches? We know that she scratched him, but why? Was it out of anger?
This is a very, very important question. How you answer this question is going to determine what happens next. But the only person who can answer this question is you. Think very hard before you answer the question. Do not quickly answer it. Think very hard. When you slapped him those times, were you attempting to cause him physical pain or physical impairment? Was that what you were attempting to do to him?
No.
What were you attempting to do? What was the reason behind the slapping and stuff? What was it you were attempting to accomplish by slapping?
I was trying to get him to stop telling me to calm down.
Well, it doesn't sound to me like she attempted to injure him.
Didn't sound like to me that she attempted to injure, but they're talking about slaps, not scratches. So I'm a little confused.
It's your call.
It's your call. I think he's the supervisor. It's your call. He doesn't want her arrested.
This is 100% your call. I support you either way.
I'll let you get back to your parents, okay?
I don't know. That guy went out on a limb. If that is the supervisor, it's 100% your call. I'll support you either way. Those are brave words.
Trying to hurt him, it wasn't malicious. She thought that he wasn't listening to her.
They don't think that she was trying to be malicious. Fair enough.
Now, I'm recording, and society and the judges and everyone can judge me for this.
Okay.
I'm looking at a 110-pound female and her fiance who have no means to be separated. He doesn't want to pursue it. She's not a threat to him, more than slight abrasions.
It's true what he's saying, guys. If you didn't hear it, rewind it again. He's using common sense. Sometimes you use common sense, even though you're going to get criticized and judged.
I don't care if we use the actual letter of the law to not charge, but I also...
Okay. I get it. I understand it. And I don't think you should blame police. I don't think you should blame them for their decision that they're not going to arrest her there. What the cop says makes sense. Okay. That's what happened. So that's why the police are criticized. That's why the police are being blamed. They're being blamed because they had an opportunity to arrest her. They chose not to do it. And if they would have arrested her, maybe she would still be alive today. They're not thinking that he's going to kill her. They have no reason to believe that. She's the accused. He's the victim. It would have been a different story if they showed up, they determined that he's the primary aggressor, and they didn't arrest him, and then he turns around and kills her. But they have no reason to believe that she's in danger. She's the bad guy. I don't think you could blame police here. I don't think you can criticize them for being human. And it's totally different situation. And it's hard for me to explain. I don't know why. They're cutting her a break. They want her to do well in life. They don't think, of course. And they don't think she's in jeopardy. They don't think she's going to later on get murdered. And really, that decision has nothing to do with what happened later on. Nothing. This is a separate incident that has nothing to do with what later happened to her. And I know these cops got to live with this for the rest of their life. I feel bad about it. But it's not their fault that he's possibly a murderer. It's not their fault that she got murdered. It's not. Just like when I arrested people for domestic violence and I put that no contact order in and I released bad guy on that no contact order, if bad guy turns around, goes back into her house or her place, her residence, and murders her, it's not my fault he's a murderer. It's not my fault she got murdered. It's not their fault she got murdered. And easy to criticize. What's that going to do, really? What is it going to do if they would have arrested her that day? I guess maybe it would have interacted with time, space. Maybe a few seconds here would have altered time and space, and the murder wouldn't have happened. You can't think that way. Not their fault. Don't blame police. And plain and simple, it wasn't a cut and dried assault. I don't care what anybody says. I flip-flopped all the way through this, just like they did. I guess that's all I'm going to say about it. And bye-bye.
What's that?